So now to implement our next upcoming questions, we have to start talking about the branches of recursion. So basically there are two type of branches in recursion. There is a single branch recursion and then there is a multi-branch recursion. Okay. The questions that we have implemented till now, they all are single branch recursion. Okay. They all are basically single branch recursion. So what exactly the meaning of single branch and multi-branch is? In single branch, we have one single stack. According to the question, let's say the question of, we was talking about one question known as factorial of a program. Okay. So in factorial of a program, we was having fact n. Then inside our stack, it goes fact n. Then this calls fact n minus 1 into n. So in our stack, it goes fact n minus 1 into n. Then keeps on going inside the stack like this. N minus 1 into n. Then it calls fact n minus 1 into n. So it keeps on doing this inside the stack, and once stack is full, like we reach our base case, then it start doing the fallback part. Okay, so this is what single branch recursion look like. But now we'll be talking about the multi-branch recursion. So why we need multi-branch recursion? Let's take one simple example. There is a question to implement the Fibonacci series. Okay, so there is this Fibonacci series. Now Fibonacci series is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21 and so on. So this is what Fibonacci series is. The basic logic behind Fibonacci series is that it has to add last two elements to get the next element. So it basically adds these two elements and get this element, then add these two, get this, then add these two, get this. So it keeps on doing this until we reach the nth number, whatever we have to find out. So this is what Fibonacci series is. Now, if I talk about that, I have to implement the Fibonacci series using simple for loop. What will be the logic? The logic will be that you have to get inside the loop, you have to maintain two variables, first and second. So first will store the n minus 2 number and second number will be stored like, so if I use a for loop, so I have to maintain two variables. Let's say there is a variable first and then there is a variable second. Okay, we have to store these two numbers. So that is the zeroth element of your series. That is the first element of your Fibonacci series. So we have hard coded store them in first and second variable. Now using a for loop, we can simply write that from I equals to 1 till I less than equals to n, I will plus plus, and we can simply do one thing, that you just need to add first and second and store it in your result variable. So you can write result plus equals to first plus second. All right, so this is how you're going to write the result. But you also have to do increment for the first and second variable. So first and second variable will also increment accordingly. So now the point is, to build this Fibonacci series program, we have to maintain two variable and then add these two variables, store that in the result. This is how we implement the Fibonacci using a simple loop. But now if I talk about that using recursion, we have to build this program. Now we know we have to, if you, in order to get this number, we have to check this number and this number. Okay. So whatever number we have to find out, whatever number we have to check, let's say if I talk about we want to get this number, so it has to add this and this. It actually needs two calls to get back to this number and this number. So it needs to look back for 5 and 3. Okay. So that's why equation will be something like this, that if you have function known as fib, so it needs to add the n minus 1, then it needs to add n minus 2. Okay. So if in order to get the current number, whatever the current number it is, in order to get that, it has to add the -1 and the -2. I hope you are able to understand first. So in one single function, we are going to make two recursive calls. Okay, in one single function, we are going to make two recursive call. Let's say if I have a function, this is how I'm going to write fib int n. Inside this, there will be a base case that if n will be less than or equals to 1, so I will simply return 1. This is going to be my base case. Now, what we need to do is we need to put something in our result variable, that is fib n minus 1 plus fib n minus 2. This is what we have to do to add these two and then return your result. So if this is how Fibonacci series program will be implemented, so it means you are making two recursive calls. So just think about what exactly be the stack of this program, how stack will look like for this particular program, or what will be the branches, because first it will call this fib n minus 1. Now once fib n minus 1 calls are completed, then it will go to this fib n minus 2. So let me show you what exactly will happen. Let's say n is equals to 5. So I'm simply going to call f5. Now, once I get into the program, it will call fib n minus 1 first. So it will simply call f4. Now again it will call fib n minus 1. So it will call f3. Now again it will call n minus 1. So it will call f2. Again it will call n minus 1. Now it will call f1. All right. So once f1 is called, now it will check n is less than or equals to 1. So it is going to return 1. So now it will return 1 back to this call and n will become 2 here. So here n is equals to 5. Here n is equals to 4. N is equals to 3. N is equals to 2. And n is equals to 1. So once n becomes 1, it returns 1. So 1 is returned back to f2. So the call of this particular function is completed. So the stack of you can assume this thing as these calls were going in one stack. Now once these calls are completed, now the chance of this one will be there. Now fib n minus 2 will be executed. So it is going to call f0. Why? Because n becomes 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Now again, if n is less than equals to 1, so it will simply return back. Actually, I am going to return n, not 1. So we will return n, whatever the n is. So this f0 will return back 0. I hope you are able to understand. So first 1 was returned from here, then 0 was returned. Now 1 and 0 are returned, so add them. So it becomes 1 plus 0, 1. And then this result will be returned back to this line. So basically f2 returns 1 to f3 and now n minus 2 will be executed again. So if this will be executed, so now it will call f1. Now if f1 is called, so it will again return back n. So it will return 1. So 1 is already there and 1 is returned from here. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. So f3 will return 2 to f4. Now f4 will call this n minus 2. It becomes f2. Now comes the chance of f2. So basically, whenever it was trying to call f1 or something, it always return n. But now the chance of f2 is there. So once f2 is called, so it will do n minus 1 again. So it means again it will open the branch for f2. All right. So it will again open up the branch for f2. So f2 will call n minus 1. So it will become f1. And now once f1 is called, it will again return back 1. So 1 is returned back here. Now f2 will again call this because we are again back on f2 and it will call f0 and it will return obviously 0. So now add 1 and 0 together. So 1 plus 0 is 1. So basically F2 will return 1. Now 2 was already there, so it becomes 2 plus 1, 3. So this is what exactly is happening in this recursion. Now comes finally F5. Now n becomes 5, n minus 2, that is 5 minus 2 is 3. So it will call F3. Now once it calls F3, so F3 will call back this Fn minus 1 again. Again it will open up the branch for n minus 1. So it becomes F2, and later on we'll talk about the right one. So it will become F2. F2 will call F1. F1 will return 1, and then it will call F0. Then it will return 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. So it will return 1 back to this. F3 will open the right branch for F1. F1 will return 1. Then 1 plus 1 is 2. So F3 will return 2. And finally 3 plus 2 is 5. This is what you will get in the output. So 5 is the output of n is equals to 5. So you can see 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the element that we was expecting. So 5 as in the output we have. So this is what a tree recursion look like. This is a multi-branch recursion looks like. So this is what exactly is going to happen in our upcoming questions, that whatever question will be there will be having this kind of recursion going on. So first it will get into fib n minus 1. Once the call of fib n minus 1 will be completed, then it will go to fib n minus 2. Now once if fib n minus 2 will be completed, then it will go back to n minus 1, then n minus 2. So it will keep on opening up the branches until both the recursions are completed. So this is what a multi-branch recursion looks like.